Hello, it's Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my latest video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I create my Dutch door weekly layout. And this is something that I use in my bullet journal nearly every single week. I really like how it looks, and I also find that it gives me that little bit of extra space on my layout so that I can include everything that I want to be able to see. I'm using a Rhodia gold book, which I keep inside a paisley etched cover, both from Start Bay notebooks. The first thing I'm going to do is count down 5 dots from the top of the page, and I'm 2 dots in from the left, and I'm counting 12 dots wide. And this enables me to add 2 columns to both of my pages. I count 2 dots down for my heading and 4 dots down for each day of the week. And to draw out my boxes, I'm using a Staedtler pigment liner. My left-hand box is where I will record my events and deadlines for the week. And the second column is for all of my meals. You might have noticed my line went down further than it should have done, and I absolutely love this white gel pen. I wouldn't be without it. I often get asked what I do if I make mistakes, and sometimes I'll add some washi or a sticker, but this white gel pen has got me out of so many little errors that I've made. To the top of my page, I'm using this purple washi tape from London Gifties. And I'm then going to use a sticker from my own product range that says December and add that on top. The next thing I'm doing is using a purple Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen. And I'm writing in my headings, which are events and meals. I'm just checking my calendar at the front for all of the dates, so I can then label each of the boxes with the day of the week and the date. And I really like having this layout because it just enables me to see everything at a glance. So it's got all of the things that I want to get done, and it enables me to track all of my meals and tasks and things like that. I'm now using a Tombow ABT brush pen just to add some highlights to each of the boxes. The next thing I'm going to do is create my Dutch door. So I fold my page in half just to make a small crease. And I then use my pencil to draw a line right up the centre of the page. For my design, I'm going to have a look through my book, and I decided I'd really like to add a crystal to this page. And this is the one that I'm going to draw out on my Dutch door. Sometimes I just cut up the middle of the page, but I also really like it if the design just comes slightly outside of it. I think that makes for a really interesting pattern once you cut around it. So I'm loosely sketching in where my crystal will be. And it's a really nice simple design to do because it's lots of straight lines. And once I'm happy with the basic outline, I'll then use my pigment liner to ink it all in. Behind my Dutch door is where I will keep my goals for the week and my tasks, but it's also a nice place to add some journal writing that perhaps you don't want to be so immediately obvious. For me, it just enables me to use a little bit of extra space for my goals that I wouldn't otherwise be able to fit on my layouts. I'm now adding some extra little details to my crystal, so I've added some lines and dots. For colour, I'm going to use that same Tombow ABT brush pen, and I'm going to use that to add one colour all over the crystal. I'm then going to use a second colour, which is more of a mauvey colour, over the top, just on the areas where I've added the extra details. I like to pick 1 or 2 colours when I'm doing my weekly layouts, just to tie everything in together. And this bit is the bit that I think people dread, which is cutting out your page. I'm using the scissors to go near to the design that I've sketched, but I'm just leaving a little gap around the edge. And I tend to use my scrap bits of paper for pen tests. It's a great way to know that I can test out any new pens that I get to see how they're going to behave on the paper. I'm now adding a little bit of washi tape to the top of the Dutch door, just again to make sure that everything ties in really nicely together. Creating Dutch doors can add a slight ridge in the middle of your journal, but I find that as long as I include lots of pages that aren't cut out, it doesn't really cause me any problems at all. So I've written out my heading of goals and used the brush pen to draw a line underneath it. I'm now moving on to my layout on the right hand page, and the left hand box will be for my tasks. The one at the top will be for my healthy habits for the week. And this last column will be where I write out any tasks for next week. And I've been using this layout for such a long time. I really like to have all of my tasks for the week listed, along with the healthy habits and anything that I want to carry over. And part of my weekly setup is I then have a daily log behind that, where I can break down each of the tasks into things that I want to do on every individual day. The habits I track are E for exercise, W for water, M for meditation, and H for healthy eating. And again, each of these columns are 12 dots wide. And you'll see when the Dutch door closes, it sits really nicely in between those two columns. So again, I'm just adding some of that washi tape at the top of my page. For my final decoration, I'm going to use a stamp from my product range. And I'm going to use an ink called Versa Magic Chalk Ink in Spring Pansy. And this is a new find for me, but I'm really enjoying it. It doesn't seem to be going through to the next page at all. I've placed a firm surface underneath my journal, and I've placed the stamp on an acrylic block. Unfortunately, I can't find this block anymore. It was given to me years ago by my mum, but I will try and find something similar and link it down below. And I'm going to add that stamp right along the bottom of both of the pages and also my Dutch door. And sometimes I stamp or I doodle, sometimes I've added stickers or even just that same strip of washi tape right along the bottom of the page. I make sure I leave a little time for that ink to dry on the left hand page before stamping on the back of the Dutch door. I really hope that this has inspired you to maybe have a go at creating a Dutch door in your own journal. I find there's so many different fun designs that you can add and really make each of your layouts look different. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, it would be great if you would leave it with a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. Thank you ever so much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you really soon in the next one.